the intoxicating smell of a new video. Okay, where do I start? Well, first off, this show is very hard to talk about because on Broadway, it's a very different plot from the licensed show. So, first I'm going to tell you the story of the Broadway one, and then I'll go and tell you what's different in the licensed show. Because this is the show that I'm in right now, so I know a lot about both sides, because I've seen the bootleg and I'm in the show. So, let's get started. Act 1. The ghoulish Addams family are visiting the graveyard for an annual gathering of all their family members, the living, the dead, and the undecided, to celebrate what it truly means to be an Addams. They sing When You're an Addams, which is a huge dance number. It starts the show off in a big way, and it really gets the audience ready for the rest of the show. Stops the ancestors return to their crypt to enlist their help. He explains that Wednesday has invited her new normal boyfriend, Lucas Beinecke, and his parents, Mal and Alice, to dinner. While torturing Pugsley on a rack, Wednesday admits that love is pulling her in a new direction and sings the song Pulled. Meanwhile, Morticia and Gomez worry about her changing ways, singing Where Did We Go Wrong? As the Beineckes arrive, Wednesday and Lucas entrust their families to act normal so they can all enjoy a simple dinner, and they sing One Normal Night. But the moment Lurch ushers the Beineckes into the mansion, tensions begin to mount. Mal wants to tear down the Addams family house, Alice begins to spout happy poems at random, Pugsley, Fester, and Grandma fail at acting normal, and Wednesday, after wearing black for 18 years, appears in a bright yellow dress, which Gomez then says, "You look like a crime scene!" Later, Lucas and Wednesday, away from their families, reveal the reason they brought their families together is to announce that they are getting married. Gomez and Mal share a drink, and Mal is introduced to Bernice, the family's giant pet squid. And Alice admits to Morticia that her marriage to Mal has grown passionless. Morticia then hears Wednesday call her old and she worries she's getting crow's feet. She turns down Gomez's request to a tango, leaving him alone and unsatisfied, and he sings Morticia. Meanwhile, Pugsley is worried that Wednesday's love life means that she won't torture him anymore, and he steals a potion from Grandma after she reveals it'll bring out someone's true dark nature. Pugsley's plan is to slip it into Wednesday's drink at dinner, and all this goes on while he sings the song What If. At dinner, the game is played, where each person at the table confesses something in a full disclosure. Gomez tells a story about scaring away crows and their feet, but this upsets Morticia because he accidentally compares her to a goat.
It's a Halloween. Once a favorite of the late Benjamin. Doesn't matter if you're right or left wing. We love this full disclosure. Disclosure. I had a dream, and in the dream, I was a goat. And no, I can't. Okay, so I'm a goat. Leaping from crag to crag, like we do. Meh, meh. And there before me is a beautiful lady goat, her haunches trembling in the mist. Meh, meh. But just as I am about to embrace her, a crow appears, saying, "I will walk on your face." So I said to this crow, "Silly bird, what do you know of true love?" And suddenly, my beautiful lady goat is transformed into a plum. The most luscious of all fruits. And I take a bite and the juice. The juice is so sweet. Full disclosure.
Well, Uncle Fester, he admits that he's in love with the moon. And in a mix-up, Alice drinks Pugsley's potion and in front of everyone declares her marriage to Mal is a loveless mess and she reveals her misery and woe, singing Waiting. As Mal, humiliated, attempts to leave with his family, Wednesday stands up and announces that she and Lucas are getting married, to which Lucas agrees. Chaos engulfs both families and Uncle Fester, trying to be helpful, entrusts the ancestors to create a sudden and terrible storm, trapping everyone in the mansion for the night. Act 2. After the storm, Wednesday tries to leave, but Lucas wants to stay and work things out with their families, leading to the pair having their first fight. Later, Morticia fears she is no longer relevant to her own family, and reminds herself that death is waiting for her just around the corner. Mal and Alice start to have a fight about their marriage, and the dinner after Alice makes a poem that doesn't rhyme. Then Uncle Fester calls for an interlude and plays his ukulele singing a love song to the moon. Yard, Wednesday runs into Gomez. He is happy she has found love, yet he is sad because his daughter is growing up, leading him to sing Happy Sad. Wednesday is left worrying that she and Lucas are just too different, but then Lucas shows up and they sing this whole song about how each one's crazier than the other one. Then, as a show of trust, Lucas blindfolds Wednesday and lets her shoot the apple off his head with a crossbow. She succeeds and the two embrace. Pugsley can't sleep because there's no monster in his closet, but Morticia tells him that I'm sure he's hiding someplace else. This relaxes him a bit, but he cannot bring himself to confess what he did to Alice. In the grotto, Gomez and Fester attempt to get Mal to open up about his feelings. To no avail. They sing Let's Not Talk About Anything Else But Love. At the end of the song, he is ultimately kidnapped by Bernice and pulled into the sewers. Grandma, hearing the word love, comes to sing with Gomez and Fester. They sing Let's Not Talk About Anything Else But Love, the reprise. Moments after, Alice is led down to the grotto by Lurch, where Mal, now back from his swim with Bernice, has learned to appreciate what he has after spending time in the arms of a passionate squid, and announces he still loves Alice, and they sing In the Arms. Gomez now goes up to the rooftop to profess his love to Morticia. They sing Live Before We Die. They kiss and begin the Tango de Amor. After all the couples are reunited, Pugsley admits to slipping the potion to Alice, but is congratulated since it brought everyone together. Uncle Fester, wearing a rocket, tells everyone he's going to fly to the moon to be with his love. At this moment, he says one of my favorite lines in the show.
Excuse me, Fester, but where are you going?
To the moon, Alice.
Just then, a puff of smoke is seen on the moon, signaling Fester has just landed. And that is the end of Addams Family on Broadway. Now, let's talk about the differences in the licensed production. In the licensed show, there's this whole scene right before Fester enlists the ancestors' help, where Gomez and Morticia, talk about the whole Lucas thing, and it's just puppy love. But then Wednesday comes out after Morticia walks off, and she tells Gomez that she's engaged to Lucas, leading to Gomez singing the songs 2 Things, 3 Things, Wednesday's Growing Up, and Trapped. He sings Trapped because now he has to keep this secret from the woman he adores, but he also doesn't want to break the promise he just made with Wednesday not to tell Morticia. These songs that Gomez sing were all added to the licensed production, but they cut Where Did We Go Wrong. After that, Pulled happens, and it leads directly into One Normal Night. The only difference with the Beinecke's is that Mal doesn't want to tear down the Addams house. The scene where Lucas and Wednesday confess that they brought everyone together is different because, number one, it's bookended by 2 short songs, But Love Part 1 and But Love Part 2. In the scene, Wednesday confesses that she told her father already, and Lucas freaks out because they were going to tell everyone together. But Wednesday calms him down by saying, it's just a simple dinner party. What could go wrong? Okay, so in the licensed show, Bernice the Squid doesn't exist at all, so that changes a lot of stuff. So the scene with Gomez and Mal is just them talking about stuff, and Gomez shows off his instruments of persuasion. They're basically torture devices, but yeah. Then Alice and Morticia's scene has a new song in it entitled Secrets, which talks about how secrets are the enemies of passion and romance. The last lyrics of the song are, Gomez would never keep a secret in his life. And Morticia never hears Wednesday call her old in the licensed show. So, all of that doesn't happen. She does turn down Gomez's request of a dance, though, which leads him to sing Gomez's What If. Right before all this stuff happens with Pugsley and the acrimonium and stealing it from Grandma. And then in the full disclosure scene, Gomez's story is different. Instead of it being about crow's feet, it's about a fox box, and it stands more for the secret that he's now keeping, but without really him telling the secret, so he's trying to cheat the system, and it doesn't really work, because Morticia sees through the lie. In the second act, most of it's the same, other than the whole Gomez and Fester and Bernice. It never happens. So that leads to the Let's Not Talk About Anything Else But Loves getting cut from the show completely. Well, they're not cut completely because there's the But Love earlier in the show, but the full song has been cut. So, and Grandma doesn't sing it all in the licensed show. Instead of the whole squid thing, Fester convinces Mal to act more like his old self, and Mal falls in love with his family all over again. This leads to a quartet of Lucas, Mal, and Alice and Wednesday singing Crazier Than You right after Wednesday and Lucas is Crazier Than You. Then Gomez sings the song Not Today as he plans a trip to Paris to go to the sewers, because Morticia's always wanted to travel and go to the sewers of Paris. So he thinks if he plans this, it might help save his marriage. Then he goes out front to confront Morticia, who is trying to leave the family because she can't live with a man who tells secrets. He goes out there to the street where she's waiting for a ride, and they sing "Live Before We Die" because he convinces her. Well, he doesn't convince her. He tells her the story of when they were trying to tell Morticia's parents, and everything that happened then is happening again. So it convinces Morticia that, I guess, like, it wasn't as bad as it seemed to be. And they sing "Live Before We Die," and then they start the tango. And everything in the end is practically the same. The bows for this show are really interesting, though, because the bows are at Wednesday and Lucas's wedding, and they're still a part of the show instead of just like normal bows where the whole cast just comes out, bows, and the curtains close. The whole bow is just, it's just basically a long dance song kind of thing. Okay, so let's get into the ratings of what I give this show. The songs, I give a 9 out of 10. The songs of this show are amazing to listen to, and they're super fun to sing and dance to. The plot, I give a 7 out of 10. The characters, they're the Addams family. They get a 10 out of 10. Everyone in this show is written perfectly. And the addition of the Beinecke's, they're all written perfectly too. Also, if you go to see this show, in the arms and Morticia and stuff are cut, a lot of times underneath the pit will be playing stuff that sounds exactly like those songs. So, like, when Morticia is introduced at one point, you hear Morticia being played underneath. My favorite songs in order are number 1, Moon and Me, number 2, When You're in Addams, number 3, The Full Disclosure Waiting and Full Disclosure Part 2, number 4, One Normal Night, number 5, Pulled, number 6, Happy Sad, number 7, Crazier Than You, number 8, Just Around the Corner, number 9, Move Towards the Darkness, and number 10 is Trapped and Not Today, because I couldn't tell. I wanted to make it a top 10 list, but I couldn't tell which one of those is better than the other. They're both Gomez's songs, and they're both really, really good. So, yeah. But this show is amazing from beginning to end. Most shows, like, have boring parts that people just kind of sit through and hope for a better part, but this show has none. For the audience and the actors. It's fun for both sides. It's just a fun show. It has a lot of laughs, and it has difficult as hell to perform both for the pit and the actors, but it's beautiful, and Andrew Lippa just did an amazing job with the score of this show. If you're looking for a show that's funny for all ages and fun for your school or community theater to do, look no further than this show. It lets people who are great at singing and acting shine, and it also lets people who are amazing at dancing also get their chance to shine, because the ancestors dance in almost every single song. And it's huge dance numbers. And right now, I am the Conquistador ancestor and Thing in Center Stage Theater's Addams Family in Comstock. The information will be down in the description, but you don't want to miss this show. It's amazing. Everyone on stage just loves to perform, and we all bring so much energy to the stage. So, if you don't have anything going on this weekend, come see my creepy, kooky, mysterious, and spooky family. I hope to see you there. And thanks for watching.